Calvinists, like, we cannot conflate God's simplicity and mean all the attributes are essentially identical to one another. Then we just simply don't know what God is anymore. So God, if God is Unitarian, simply Unitarian, monistic oneness, then he can't be known, nor can he love. Robert Letham, only a God who is triune can be personal. Only the Holy Trinity can be love. Human love cannot possibly reflect the nature of God as a trinity of persons in union and communion. A solitary monad cannot love, and since it cannot love, neither can it be a person. Think about that. If we define love biblically, that love is the pouring out of self or the giving of self sacrificially. C.S. Lewis picked up on this. He says all sorts of people are fond to repeating the Christian statement that God is love, but they seem not to notice that the words God is love have no real meaning unless God contains at least two persons. Love is something that one person has for another person. If God was a single person, then before the world was made, he was not love. Jonathan Edwards really spent a lot of time on this, and of course he's one of the greatest thinkers that America has ever produced. He writes, it appears that there must be more than a unity in infinite and eternal essence. Otherwise, the goodness of God can have no perfect exercise. To be perfectly good is to incline to and delight in making another happy in the same proportion as it is happy itself. That is, to delight as much in communicating happiness to another as enjoying of it himself. And an inclination to communicate all his happiness, it appears that this is perfect goodness, because goodness is delight in communicating happiness. And that's an amazing thing. Why do you like watching a movie twice? If you're like me, I don't watch a movie twice unless I'm watching with someone who hasn't watched it. But I'll rewatch a movie with my wife or a friend. Oh, you haven't seen it? Let's watch that. Why? I've already seen it. I don't want to watch it again. And I wouldn't do it by myself. But why do we want to watch it with someone who hasn't watched it before? Because we thought the movie was great and it brought us a measure of pleasure. And we want to share that pleasure, that joy, that experience with someone else. And this is what love is. I mean, Edwards is hitting a really important thing here. You know, you share your life with someone, you're sharing your joys, and you want them to be as happy as you are. That's what real love is. And of course, Edwards is making a point that if God is not Trinitarian, he's not good. He's not loving.